Hey babes, it's Carlisa Victoria back with another video. Guys, I look a mess. I worked out today. But look, I wanted to make this video because I don't know who needs to hear this. Who's the better messenger than the person who's going through the most? Look, both of my nails gone. My life, shambles. Things not going right. Like everything that you could possibly think is happening is happening. And the thing about the only reason I can still have a smile on my face, best believe there's been a lot of tears, but there's a lot of smiles. You have to think about it. When you really think about God, and I'm not talking about people who just throw God around like it's a labubu. Like, oh, it's just for fashion, it's just for style. When you really think about God and his favor over your life, and the things that you've been through. When I think about the things that I've been through in my life, God delivered me. God brought me on the other side of it. So in what world will I sit here and think that he can't do it again and again and again and again? And when I'm talking to y'all right now, I am speaking to you. I'm going to have to keep on redoing the video because I have a feeling it's going to fill up. But I'm speaking from y'all to y'all from like when I tell you, you wouldn't even be able to begin to understand or feel what I'm going through. So for me to throw a camera up right now, for me to even be posting on socials, for me to be doing any of that, it's because I am pushing myself through the things I'm going through. If you don't get up and grow through what you go through, then you're going to be stuck sitting down. You can easily be over there in the corner crying right now. Or you could be working out. You could be drinking your coffee. You can be cleaning your counters. You could be cleaning your bathroom. You could be doing your hair. You can either choose to embrace the situation and say, you know what? This is what I'm going through. I can't stress what I can't control, but what I can't control, I'm going to control. My hair look a mess. Guess what I'm going to do? Control it. My body look a mess. Guess what I'm going to do? Get it back in shape. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to do right. There's certain things that are within your control. So control what you can control. What you can't control, do not stress what you can't control. And a lot of times people want to give that advice, don't stress what you can't control, because I know that's one of my favorite lines. But a lot of people like to actually give that advice because everything's going well for them. I like to give that advice when things is going crazy. See, right now, everything is going crazy, but the God that I know, this about to make me cry. I'm not going to do it. The Lord that I serve, the God that I know, he done took me through the fire. He allowed me to go through the fire so many times, right? But guess what? I always came up out that fire. I always, just like jewelry being tested through the fire, you got to go through it to get through it. You have to be literally forged in the fire so that you could come out the way you're supposed to come out. So it's like, if I know that the God that I serve, and to be clear, the God with the capital G that I serve has gotten me to where I've gotten to in this life and has taken me out of so many situations. If he did that for me, if he even gave me breath to wake up this morning despite everything I've gone through in my entire life. If y'all knew my life story and everything I've been through, y'all jaws would drop because you would try to ask yourself, how does somebody keep going like her? I don't need the sympathy. I don't need the pity. I don't need anything. But what I am saying is, if I can look back and even now into my most deepest situations that I have undergone, and God delivered me on days that I didn't think I would, on days that I didn't think I would see the light of day. God got me up and he delivered me. And when I say delivered, I'm talking about you brought me through it. So take me through that, take me through that. Jesus took me through there. You done brought me out of it. And even though certain situations in your life, you don't feel like you truly have been delivered from as far as overcoming the situations, God gave you the feet to get up and walk out that room that was keeping you down, that kept you in your closet, that kept you in the dark, kept you under your bed, or kept you in the corner because you just didn't want to come out that house because that grief, that situation, that season of life just crippled you so bad that you didn't even come out the house, right? When God is allowed, or you have gone through something so crazy, and I've been through so many things, but when it's got to the point where you've got the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of how you're feeling, what other choice do you have but to have faith? If you're going to be in this world and you're going to continue to push through, once you get to the bottom, the only place you can go when you've hit the abyss, 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 when you hit the abyss, the only other place is up. When you're sitting in that situation, when you're drowning in the situations, it could be anything in your life. The only choice you have when you are at the bottom is up. So if I know I can't go any lower than I already am, then I know the only other place is up. So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to slowly start. Eventually, I'm going to get tired of sitting on my butt going to go numb. I'm going to get tired of sitting down. I'm going to get tired of trying to figure it out. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm slowly start pulling myself up. I'm using the strength that I got left to pull myself up. And as I continue to keep having faith that I can get up to the top of the hole and take myself out that sewer or take myself out that ocean from the abyss, as I continue to keep grabbing on that rope in faith, pulling myself up, God is looking from heaven saying, here, grab my hand. So as I'm going up, now I got help. God wants us to just meet him halfway. If we can just meet God, if we could just meet him halfway, he is going to carry us. But if you're not willing to put your hand up so he can pull you up out the situations that you're in, oh, baby, you're never going to get to see what's on the other side. And y'all have to realize, I am not speaking to y'all at this moment in my life where I'm at the best state of my life. I am speaking to y'all at a time where things are crazy in life, right? But guess what? I'm optimistic. Guess what? You want to cry today? Go get on the treadmill. You want to cry today? Go wipe the counters. Just like I told you, whatever it is that you're going through, find a way out of it. You want to lay in bed all day because you're feeling semi-depressed. You're normally not a depressed person, but career depression or situational depression or whatever it is that is boggling you down can keep you down. So you have to make the conscious decision that I am going to pull myself out of the scums and I am going to pull myself back up so that I can continue to grace this earth like God set out for me to do. You get what I'm saying? It's like we had a purest of the purest heart sometimes, right? And I'm just giving y'all an example of a pure heart. You can have the purest of the purest heart until something does something that makes your heart cold, that makes your heart dark, that makes your heart every which way but the way that it always has been, right? So what happens? That beautiful heart, that beautiful face, all that stuff fades. You know why? Because the heart has been attacked. So the heart is now responding to the trauma that it has received. So when you know that you have the trauma, but you have a good heart, then that tells you that you already at a good place. Because if I know I got a good heart, it's one thing to already have a bad heart. Like if you have a bad heart, you can't fix that. But if you have a good heart, it's like, okay, so this is the heart. And you got, you got all these things. You got all these things that are clouding the heart, right? You got, I've been through this. My job not working out. A friend group starting to act funny. Like you got all these problems, right? And my hand is the heart, right? And you say, I'm going to take this to God real quick. I'm going to take this to God. And he say, you know what? You don't need those friends because those friends were not going to allow you to be able to get to the point that I needed you to go. Separation requires elevation, and everybody can't go. So you know what happens? You start to acknowledge that, and that friend group leaves, right? You're okay with the decision now. Then you say, okay, I'm going through career depression. I don't like this. So you go sit down, you talk to your boss, or maybe you start the business, and the business might not be doing as good, but it's starting to make some type of progress. It makes you happy, right? Now you're not stuck in that rut of how you was feeling about that job. So guess what? That career depression starts to minimize and disappears, right? Then you say, you know what? I done been through the worst of the worst. Like my whole life is in shambles right now. I don't feel like I like my job. I don't like what's going on. I don't know. Let's just call this weight. I don't like how big I am right now. I don't like my weight. But then you start working out. You start going to the gym. You start going working out at home, full body workouts, treadmill, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, right? And you start to look better, and you start coming back up to that mirror. That girl that you see in the mirror, you like, I don't like how she looking. She overweight. She looks sad. She looks like her circumstances are her. And they're not. Because she has a good heart. So we already know that heart is covered with something. So then you start to fix that. You wake it up every day on routine. You drinking your water. You drinking your protein shakes. You looking in that mirror. You doing your skincare routine. You doing everything that you need to do, right? Suddenly that disappears. Weight isn't the issue. You looking good, girl. You back in the business. The career looking good. You like what you do, and you feel good about doing it. Now look at that heart again. Skip the nail. Don't be immature. Look at that heart again. That heart is back pure. That heart is back to what we know. So guess what? She looking good. She feeling good. The story's filling out. But the friends are not an issue. So in the end of the day, that heart back pure. Now this overweight girl, this broke out skin, this terrible looking, and I'm not saying natural hair is terrible, so don't quote me, because when I say terrible right now, it's like, it ain't done. It need to be done. This hair not being done, this nail being broke, this whatever you want to categorize, right? Now all these things are fixed. Now you're starting to feel what again? Whole. Your heart's starting to look pure again. The way that you react, the way that you speak, the eloquence that always came about you is now coming back. Why? Because all the things that were clouding that beautiful heart, that hurt, that trauma, that everything is now starting to disintegrate, now starting to minimize, now starting to find its way into the other things. Your greatest tool is God. And I'm not here to shift anybody on what they believe. Y'all know my channel is not about religion, but I'm never going to be ashamed to say who I serve. So imagine that my compass is God. I don't know what that compass is for you. That compass can be the universe. The compass can be whatever you believe in, right? But now my compass never leaves my body, right? My compass never, if y'all ever played, it was one of those games. What is it? Is it Crash Bandicoot? I'm talking about Crash Bandicoot. There's one of them games where there's like a little something that follows Crash as he's going through the obstacle courses, right? That little thing never leaves, right? So that little thing is your compass, right? That is never going anywhere. It's guiding you. It's with you everywhere. That compass for me is God. So you have to think, if my compass has brought me through everything, if my core compass can take me through there, why am I going to let a circumstance define me? Why am I going to let something that I know when I look back in 5 to 10 years, I'm going to look at that and say, that was so minute. That was so little. Like that whole situation in the grand scheme of my whole life only looked like a millisecond. Even though I felt like I was going through it for a period of time. And if you change your perspective on the way you look at things, you will realize that your outcome is going to change. I've had so much happen recently. Unfortunate news, things I didn't agree with, things I did agree with, things. I've had so much happen in my life over these last weeks and months and whatever, right? And the one thing that's been literally helping is my perspective. You change your outlook on things and watch your circumstances change. I've always been an optimistic person. So I'm always going to look at like, I'm going to find a way out of this. I'm always going to have that type of mentality, right? Because that's always what it's been. And I just feel like when you have a mentality like, I'm going to get it regardless of what happens. That is right there. That right there is an asset to your life. Because it's going to pull you up when you don't feel like being pulled. It's going to get you to do the things that you know you have to do even when you don't feel like doing it. No circumstance is ever going to be too great to get you from staying on track of what it is you need to do. So for me, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything happens in your life exactly how it's supposed to happen. And I think sometimes we worry too much about the circumstances, and we worry too much about why is this happening to me, or we can't seem to understand. And sometimes that's the thing God trying to get me to understand is I don't need you to understand why I'm allowing it to happen. I need you to adjust to the fact that it did happen. And once it happens, you will be able to see why I allowed it to happen. Because I don't believe God does things to us. I believe he allows it. And sometimes in that allowing, there's always going to be a lesson. So you have to figure out, why am I going through this? Why would God strip me of the things that he know I love? Why would God strip me of the things he know I need? Why would he strip me of these things? And ultimately, it's always because he's trying to get to something that you keep overlooking. Whether it be, you done been through a lot, you need to go see somebody. I have. I need to. You get what I'm saying? Whatever it is in your life, you might be real good. You might feel like, I haven't been through that much in my life other than my car broke down. Other people like me could be like, look, I've been through trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. Tragedy after tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. How does a human hold all this? But you might not be able to relate to that. We could be different in those capacities. So the energy or the way that we decide to move in a certain room, I might be guarded. You might be literally like a little social butterfly. I might not really want to be vulnerable because, oh, maybe I've experienced X, Y, and Z, and I'm more reserved when it comes down to just freely giving up information or making friends. You might feel like, oh, I'm just happy-go-lucky. I don't see anything wrong with the world, or I haven't been through anything, so I don't care. Guarded versus not guarded. So what I'm going through might not be what you're going through. But I'm not going to say that what I'm going through is greater than what you're going through, because you might be somebody who could be going through a circumstance that I either don't go through, haven't been through, whatever. And who am I to tell you that your circumstance is smaller than, you know what I mean? It's almost like that philosophy of no sin is greater than another, even though we classify certain sins to be greater than another. You say if you sleep with your man or you sleep with your woman that, oh, you're sinning against God. But then if you go over there and you go be lying and saying X, Y, and Z, is that not a sin too? You know what I mean? Like, don't pick and choose what sin is greater than the other. So that's the same thing with this situation. Don't pick and choose and say, oh, because you went through all that trauma and she only went through this accident, but you went through all these tragedies, your pain is greater than her pain. No. Everybody takes and go through things differently. So nobody is eradicated. Nobody's pain is dismissed. Nobody's situations is dismissed. So I say all this to say, whatever you're going through in your life right now, coming from somebody who's going through things, it's a reason for it. And whether you believe it's the universe, or you believe it's God, or you believe it's whatever is trying to send you a message, take note. Will God really be able to make you a better person if he took away the things that you didn't care about? Will God be able to make you a better person if he said, geez, I know she doesn't care about that, so I'm going to take it away. You think I'm going to care that he took it away? I'm probably not even going to notice because I don't really care about it, right? But the things that you consider to be dear to you, whatever those things are in your life, sometimes God got to snatch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could play a sport and you could be putting that sport above God, and guess what God can do? Break your ankle. Literally. Y'all be talking about breaking ankles on a football field, but God can literally break your ankle. For what? For what would he be doing that for? You're not trying to allow that to happen, to be mean. Maybe it's to get your attention to say, hey, look, you're a little too cocky with this football stuff. Put your eyes on me and don't sit here and act like you the God. So I feel like he's going to allow things to happen in the areas in which will most affect us. But that's what builds character. He takes something tragic and make it triumphant. He takes something small and make it big. He takes us out of the gutter so that we can be put in a better position into the suburbs. And I'm speaking metaphorically, not so much like realistically. He take you from the slums to put you somewhere better. You get what I'm saying? But the way that we tend to get the lesson is through the things that we love. So that's what is allowed. Through the things that we love and through the things that will most affect us if they were gone. That is how God tugs at our heart. So I don't know who needed to hear this, baby, because I was preaching to myself, and I hope y'all was able to catch something out of this. Now, I do need to do a hair video. I do need to get my life together. I do need to clean up. I do need to, there's a lot of things I need to do. But I wanted to make this video. And I didn't care what I look like. No, I look a mess right now. No, I need to do my hair. No, I'm still in my, I need to lose weight. I'm missing 2 nails. Like I said, y'all should have known when I came on a video with 2 nails missing that things were about to get real. Okay, 2 nails missing. Same finger, same day. Yeah. Like, Lord, did you really set this up? Both her pointer fingers, because I need her not to be pointing at nothing today. I'm going to make sure them nails are broke. And now look. Girl, God got a sense of humor. Because every finger that I keep, y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? There's no nail. But, joking aside, God got a better plan. And I'm just going to keep believing it. And even the things that he allows to happen, even if they never revisit you back in your life, and God strips you of these things, don't think that it's a waste of the character build. Because what's meant for you will always be there. And what's not meant for you, it will not. There's nothing that you will be able to do to take away what was meant. Or whatever. You know what I mean? If it's meant, it's going to be. That's anything in your life. If you were meant to get the promotion, it was already written in your destiny. You might not get a promotion this year at your job, but you might get a promotion next year. Or maybe you'll skip the job promotion that you wanted, and God will just say, you know what, I'm going to take her from executive straight on up to the CEO, to the CFO. His ways are not our ways, neither are his thoughts our thoughts. They're higher than ours. So whatever level that you see yourself getting to, your greatest level is not even your greatest level. Think about that. The goals I have set for myself, God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above that. You ain't never thought about that, did you? You thought your little goals that you set for yourself, like, ooh, this is my short-term, intermediate, long-term goals. God said, well, I got your extended. You're extended. In order for him to enlarge our territory, we're going to have to be willing to address the things that we either are not paying attention to or that we're too scared to address in our lives. God is doing his big thing. God is working. We are in a world right now where things are crazy. But God still gonna make a way out of no way. So I hope this video did something, very much so something, for somebody watching this video. And I hope that it just encourages you to just like realize, like, no matter what you're going through, goodness gonna come out of it. So if you feel like, ooh, it's too much weight in my face, y'all always hear me say this, I need to lose weight, I need to get back on it. I've been working out, I've been doing what I need to do, I've been eating right, so I'm not gonna expect the results to happen overnight. That's in anything you do. You literally are not going to change overnight with anything. I'm not about to, like, y'all be hearing me saying, I need to get skinny by tomorrow. And I be really wishing that could happen. But I just know that, like, if you really want the weight loss results and you really want the shredding and the fitness and the sculpting and the, gains and things like that, you have to keep putting in the work. I know that. I just be saying that, right? So there's nothing that you want or need in your life that you're ever going to be able to have results overnight. It's already set in motion. So if something happens for you tomorrow, you're like, ooh, that happened overnight. Baby, that came from all the work that you did over time. Don't ever think that anything, and that's why you never wish for people's situation, because you never know what they did to get in those situations, and you never know what affected them, through those situations. So I never wish for other people's situations, because you never know, you could be envying them and they could be like not wanting to be in the situation might not be as pretty as you think. That's why you just have to be grateful for the life that God gave you and grateful for the things that you go through, because in the end of the day, God got you, girl. God got you. Cry a little bit. Do whatever you need, because in the end of the day, the day gotta end or whatever. So, yep. And that's what I got to say about that. I know y'all don't care, but just look at the hair. That'll be another video for another video. But yes, y'all. This bottle is so pretty. I don't need to go on a tangent, but this is my oil from my nail salon. They have the cutest little oil bottles. I had bought this. It's lavender too. I think I bought a couple of these. I don't know if I bought two of the same ones because one was for my sister, or if I bought two different ones. But yeah, tea. But yeah, y'all, I'll talk to y'all in another video. I need to see if I can put all these clips together because I have been running my mouth. But I hope that this helped somebody on a Friday. Going into a weekend. Getting off work and thinking like, man, I'm about to go home and I'm about to go through that crying. I'm about to go through that stress. I got that time to detox from my 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So Friday through Sunday or Monday morning, I'm about to be crying, upset, stressed out, the things that the job couldn't see. Nah, get on top of that, sis. Get on top of that, bro. Figure out what you need to do. Go clean that car. Go clean that garage. Go clean them dogs. They need to be cleaned. But do whatever you need to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't soak in what you're going through because it's only going to hold you back. You're going to look up 6 months from now and you're going to say, I could have progressed. I could have lost that weight. I could have gotten my spirit back on track. I could have gotten my house and everything that I need to get in order. But instead, I sat there and I wallowed in what I was going through for 6 months. So guess where I got? Nowhere. And one thing about me, baby, you're never going to find me where you left me. I don't care what the situation is. I might go through it. I might be going through it. But you best believe I am going to find a way to be better. I literally could be emotional about something. I could just got heartbreaking news and I literally, I remember finding out that my friend passed away and I found out right before I had to work. I couldn't even grieve it in the moment. I was in shock, but I couldn't grieve it because I was so dedicated as a worker, like at the one of the jobs that I was working at, that I didn't want to miss my shift because I was so thoughtful of the other people who had other things and children, and I didn't want that pressure on them to have to come work, this job. Especially when it was like a standalone type of job and they got kids and they got things. So I was so like, my heart was just like, I got to go to the job. But my grief was so bad. I was in shock. So it was like, what do you mean? Then the emotions start kicking in. So when I get to work, I'm doing the job, but I'm focused on the job, but my mind keeps drifting. Like, oh my goodness. I say all that to say, sometimes we're going to get the news that we don't want in the middle of something. That adversity is going to come. Do not stop going. Keep going. You have to think about it. Like, especially if you're a business owner, you started a business, you are every position in your business. Every day that you take off for personal, to cry, to weep, to take off a vacation, if you are every part of your position, of your business before you hire for the position, you are literally going to be feeling the loss in your business. Why? Because you took that time off. Now, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But you see how that sitting back or removing yourself from the task at hand, how that can actually affect the productivity levels? Same thing. It's the same thing. So whatever you go through, when adversity strike, you strike back. If adversity strike you, you be ready to, what's up? What's good? You know what I mean? What's goody? Let me put my high heels on to battle this. You feel me? Don't go sit down. I'm about to put my robe on and drink my tea. And mind you, I do all that. But I'm saying, don't be ready to put that robe on, that tea and them slippers on, and then you allow what you're going through, that you soak in it. You get what I'm saying? You sit in it. You seep in it. You don't want to do that. You want to say, you know what, babes? Where is my trench coat? The good one that just came from the cleaners with the good smell. My high heels and my stockings and that fit that I worked out to wear. So I can throw on these business clothes and go handle business. That is how you need to approach things. And like I said, what better person than to relay the message than me to already be going through a lot? I think it's so much easier for us to take advice or to hear something from people who are being optimistic while they're going through it. It's easy to be on the mountaintop and trying to tell somebody how to get through something. But it's harder to be going through something and actually be optimistic and encouraging others to do the same. So I really, like I said, I know I talked a lot. I talked about 30, 40 minutes, and you probably don't want to hear this. This is probably a video that you need to play while you getting dressed or driving in a car somewhere where you can sit it down and you don't necessarily need to see me, but you can hear me. But get up, girl. We rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. The world rooting for you. And whoever isn't rooting for you, forget them. God's rooting for you. You know what I mean? Don't, please. Your value is not going to be chalked up by what the world thinks. God put you in this world for a reason. And he is very intentional about everything he does. So keep being optimistic, even when the situations are not that pretty. Because God is not the author of confusion. I will see you babes in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys want to keep up with me on my socials, TikTok and Instagram, Craylisa Victoria. I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for tapping in. The next video might be today. The next video might be next week. The next video might be, I don't know. This video might not even go up. I'm going to make sure that I strive to do it. But lately, when I'm uploading my videos, they've been giving me trouble. So I'm going to do all I can to make sure I upload it, even if I got to upload it in parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Later.